What is up, guys? So today we're just gonna have a bit of a Sunday moan or rant, or I'm just gonna waffle on. There's no real subject in mind. See, what I usually do is I'll take a controversial subject, I'll think of my own experiences with that subject, I'll practice what I want to say, I'll try and inject a bit of humour into it, and do the best what I can with what I have, which is just a camera and a wealth of experience with drugs, alcohol, prison, homelessness. You know the one, you know my story. So that's what I usually do. But today I'm just going to waffle on a bit and have a bit of a Sunday rant. So let's start with the state of England. I mean, you can't even mention anything about immigration, or you get into trouble. You get labelled as a racist. You can't even mention anything gay anymore. I've got a TikTok channel. I was getting hundreds of thousands of views. I was helping people every day, getting messages from concerned parents or, drug workers or people just wishing me well every single day. And I did a video called Homophobia in Prison, which is a fact. Prison is a homophobic place. And I just made a video talking about that. I wasn't saying anything bad. I was just saying how it is in prison, and my account went from hundreds of thousands of views, shadow banned, like that, boom, gone, to 2 views if I were lucky. And just because I mentioned homophobia, and that's the world we live in now. Same with the immigration. I made a video the other day talking about our problem with immigration, and the very first comment was, "Oh, racist," and then someone else put, "You can get put in jail for this." And all I said was, we have a problem with immigration in the UK, which we do. But you can't even mention it. It's crazy. The world's gone mad. And it's got to a point now where people are going to prison for posting memes. And, I mean, look, England is fed up of crimes from illegal immigrants, dangerous illegal immigrants. It's on the news all the time. And people are fed up with it, so they're protesting, and some people have got overexcited and started rioting and looting. Right? You can't do that. If you do that, you're going to get in trouble. Everybody knows that. But, I understand it because they're frustrated. And I'm sure they didn't wake up that morning thinking, right, I'm going to go and rob fucking loot, I'm going to smash everything up. I'm sure they just went out for a peaceful protest and got caught up in it, which is their own fault. But I mean, our old friend, George McFly, old Penfold, he's got 5 fucking years for stealing pasties out of Greggs. There's a woman who ran down the street with a bin and pushed it towards the cops, fell over and ended up on a heap in the floor at the cops' feet, so they locked her up. She got fucking 2 years for it. I mean, 5 years for nicking Greggs pasties. That I don't know, 5 years is a long time. Think of everything what happens in 1 year. Christmas, summertime, the Premiership. That's just 1 year. He's got to go through 5 years for stealing Greg's fucking pasties. And yet, you see when there's like the Rolex Rippers, a gang of immigrants attacked someone, stole his watch. Again, this is not me being racist. This is what they did. It was on the news, so I could talk about it. And they've robbed this guy at knife point. And they didn't even get prison because they can't speak English. And then, there was another guy. There was this one guy, right? He went out and he said he'd had some bad news. And this was 24 hours in police custody program on TV. And he says, he's gone out and he was pissed off. He's had some bad news, so he's gone out to beat somebody up. And he said all this on the interview. He said, I was pissed off. I was angry. I've gone out and I went looking for someone to beat up. So he's found someone, beat him up and killed him, beat him to death. And he got 4 years in prison for that. So how do you justify giving someone 5 years for stealing pasties, but 4 years for killing someone? And immigrants don't even get prison. It's absolutely mental. The world's gone mad. And it's got to a point where I'm just fed up of it, you know. I don't even want to fucking live here anymore. It's miserable every fucking day. It's day in, day out. It's just doom and gloom. England's just gone to crap. And I'm usually the type of person that just don't care about that sort of stuff, you know. I stick to myself, I stay in my own lane, and I try and inspire people on YouTube by making videos talking about overcoming addiction and, you know, things like that. And I don't know, it's just sad now. I have to watch what I say. I'm worried about what I say, and it's just crap in England now. And the thing is all this, what's happening, the government caused all this. So they're slamming people. I mean, putting people in prison for 5 years for nicking pasties from Greggs because they're upset from a problem what the government created. So now they're getting punished as an example. I mean, you're putting someone in prison for 5 years to make an example, to prove a point. I just never understand that. But anyway, let's talk about drugs and recovery. Now, I got to a point in my life where I didn't really care. I don't really care anymore what people think about me, which is, it's strange to say, but after years of being an addict, after years of ruining my life with addiction, I've got to a point now where it's actually become freeing, because I'm in a position now where I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And there's a lot of people out there, a lot of creative, good, funny people, you know, what could make YouTube channels and be really successful, and we could have a laugh, but they won't do it because they're scared of failing. They're scared of, you know, they think, oh, well, maybe my mate will laugh at me, or maybe that family member won't approve. So they put themselves in a box. I mean, one of my mates, he's funny as hell, and he's struggling mentally. And I says, well, have you been to doctors? He says, oh, there's a 2-year waiting list. Fucking 2 years just to get an assessment. And I says, well, why don't you make a YouTube channel? Document your problems, you know, you could help people, people could help you. And he says, oh, I don't want to look weak, which I totally understand that. I was exactly the same. But then I hit a point, and it all started when I saw a meme. I think it was on Instagram. And it said, never be ashamed of what you've been through. Be proud of what you've overcome. So that really hit home with me. And I started thinking, why am I ashamed of all this when I should be proud of overcoming it? You know, why am I like putting myself in a box, worried about what these people are going to think when they don't know what it's like? They don't know what it's like waking up in a doorway. They don't know what it's like living in an abandoned building, living in abandoned psych wards. They don't know what it's like spending years in prison, waking up in a police cell and overcoming homelessness, being in a position where death is a viable option, where, you know, death for me was a better option than living. Because that's what suicide is. Suicide comes when misery outweighs hope. And that's where I was. And I was always embarrassed and ashamed. But then I saw this post and I thought, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be proud of what I've overcome. And that's why I don't care anymore. Because I'm in a strong position now. Because I can do anything I want now. And nobody expects anything from me, because I've been laughed at, you know. I've been a homeless guy. I've lived in abandoned buildings, so nobody expects anything from me. So I can go out and do anything I want. I'm free to do all I want. And there's in the tarot cards, you know, the Fool is the strongest card, because the Fool can be anything he wants to be. Nobody expects anything from the Fool. You know, if I went out tomorrow and joined a cult of Scientology and got married to some bloke in a wig and changed my name to Sarah, no one would bat an eyelid, because, you know, I've been laughed at. People used to take photos of me in the street and upload it for social media so everyone could laugh at. And you know, the funny part is, those fat dossers are the same fat dossers they were back then, you know, puffing on weed. They can't even give up food. They can't even fight hunger. But they want to make fun of me. I'm a totally different person now. I'm trying to build something great. But anyway, that would be my tip for the day, let's say, is never be ashamed of what you've been through. Be proud of what you've overcome. And if you want to make a YouTube channel, then do it. I mean, we're we're stuck with people like JDP or Smoking Sheriff. You know what I mean? These people are rubbish. They're not even funny. They've got no banter, but there's nobody else doing it, so people watch them, and they won't do it because they're scared to fail, or they're scared no one will watch, or they're scared somebody will laugh at them. Well, fuck those people. If you want to make a YouTube channel, then do it. You know, if you've got good ideas, if you're funny, if your friends tell you that you're funny, then make a channel. I'm sure other people think you're funny. If you're struggling mentally, if you've got depression or whatever, make a YouTube channel and talk about it, document it. You'll be surprised at how many people feel the same. You know, I was shocked. There's loads of people struggling mentally, loads of people struggling with addiction. And I make videos talking about it, showing people that there's a way out, because there's no one any worse than I was. And I'm no one special. I was 7 stone heavy. I was an alcoholic. I was on Valium, Xanax, pre-gambling, gabapentin, smoking crack every day. I was gone. I'd made my peace with death. That's how far gone I was. And I changed it. I turned it around. So that's why I speak with passion and authority, because I've been there. I've done it. I know what it's like. I've lived in abandoned buildings. I've lived in an abandoned psych ward, so I know what it's like. And I also know that if you really want to turn it around, if you really want to change your life, you've already got what you need. You've just got to pull it out of you. And I'll always say the first step to changing your life is accepting that you can do it and convincing yourself you can. But anyway, that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Bonjour.